What up, peeps and peepettes? MorbTron back today with more Warframe, and today, as promised, we are doing a no Forma build for Mirage. Now, I will be covering kind of like early to mid-game gameplay for a no Forma build, like you'd be going for if you're doing any no Forma build for anything. Of course, I'm going to leave out high-end gameplay, strategics, and things like that for one, because I haven't done them, and two, you're not going to bring a no Forma frame into those scenarios anyway. So I'll be taking into consideration the level of gameplay that you can pull off with a no Forma build. That being said, here we are. So this is tuned for more like self-sustainability. Now granted, if you are in a full group of friends, you have a balanced group with a support frame, you're not going to get as much out of this build as you can if you're going with randos and everybody's bringing a damage frame, nobody can heal you, that sort of thing. That's what this build is for. You'll see that I have a damaged equilibrium. I don't have a regular one, but you don't really need one. You could use a regular equilibrium and maybe take a few points out of other mods, but I don't really see the point of that. It does fine as it is. So I've got Energy Siphon as my aura mod. You could use Regeneration to be a little bit more self-sustained, but Equilibrium does the job as long as you are not being dumb and taking as little damage as possible. For my power damage, I do have Power Drift and Intensify for my ability strength, I should say. I do have Vitality and Redirection, just to kind of give Mirage a little bit more of a fighting chance to live. She is still pretty squishy. I also do have Armored Agility, just to give me a little bit of armor and a little bit of run speed. Mirage is pretty agile as is, but then we've got the Continuity and Flow and Streamline. Streamline and Continuity are completely maxed out. Flow is 1 from max, as the Continuity and full Streamline are much more important with this build than a maxed out Flow. But we'll go into the abilities here real quick. If you don't already know what all these do, one, you're going to want to keep up all the time as much as you can. With this build, it has a 32.5 second duration, and the doppelgangers do, I believe, 29% of your damage. So it's a nice buff. It gives the enemies something else to shoot at, and it does more damage for you, so it's a win-win. You want that up as much as possible, while still using the other abilities in tow. Sleight of Hand. It's interesting. Apparently it recently got buffed. I didn't play back when it was in its pre-buff state, so I can't tell you how good it is compared to that. But if you get in a pinch and you need to blind and basically stun a bunch of enemies and get a safe distance between you and them, this is a good way of doing that. Or you can lay booby traps down, and when enemies path into them, they will be stunned, blinded, and take a little bit of damage. Eclipse. Standing in light, so basically not in the shadows, Mirage deals heavy damage, while in the shadows, Mirage takes greatly reduced damage. When you're in the shadows, you take 95% less damage with this build, and when you're in the light, you do 290% more damage. The duration on the buff is 32.5 seconds. Most of the time, you're going to have the damage increase buff, unless you're in a really, really dark tile set. Then you might get the damage reduction more often than not, but in most cases, you're going to have the damage increase versus damage reduction. It can make the gameplay a little bit interesting with Mirage. You don't really know if you're like running away from somebody. Don't count on having that damage reduction, because chances are you're not going to have it. Now, Prism. For higher-end gameplay, I have been told that the damage peters off quite substantially, and it isn't really worth using. You want to just keep up your 3 and your 1 for higher-end gameplay, but for early to mid-game, if you're using Mirage, her 4 absolutely destroys everything. With, excuse me. Wow. It's like I'm 12 again. With this build, it does a ton of damage with that much ability strength that we have. Its duration is pretty decent as well, at 15, almost 16 seconds. It does a blind as well. You're not going to notice the blind, however, because things are just going to fall over and die. It does drain energy per second while it is up. So that's why having efficiency is a good thing on Mirage, especially if you're using her 4. But enough of that. We're going to take her into a survival mission solo, and we'll see how the build does. Alright, so we're at the 5-minute mark right now. We're going to go till 10 minutes. I think it's pretty fair for a frame that has 0 sustainability herself. This is a great time for 4. And everybody dies. So I was just going to bounce around in there. And if more stuff spawns in, it's going to die. Now, you don't have the sustainability spamming 4, but if you ever want to just throw a disco ball down a hallway and kill everybody with it, that's what it's for. But you can completely sustain having your 1-up with this build pretty, like, full-time. You go positive energy with keeping your 1-up 100%, which you should have. You should have your 1-up absolutely all the time. The extra damage is nice, but especially if you're soloing, having the other targets for the enemies to shoot at makes soloing on Mirage even possible. Without it, you're going to be taking way too much damage to self-sustain. But with her 1, and if the enemies are stupid and shoot at one of the other 4 Mirages, you're invincible. So the extra I really can't words today, guys. I'm sorry. The extra damage with using a melee weapon like the Legion that I'm using basically turns you into a meat grinder as well, which is pretty cool. You can keep your 3 pretty much full duration as well. Now, you more than likely can. I really haven't... Yeah, it depends on, like, energy drops. You can for sure keep your 1-up 100% of the time. And use your 3 when, you know, you have a big group of enemies that you want to take down. Because you see you have that buff. Right now, I still have the 290% increased damage. But you'll see it switches over to 95% every now and then. That means I'm taking 95% less damage. So with the Legion, I'm holding down guard all the time and actually using that combo instead of the regular. Just because, like, the slam down doesn't... See, I didn't have my 1-up and I died because of it. Need to have your 1-up. Have your 3-up as well if you want to. Like I do, but you need to have the 1-up. I didn't because I was trying to show something off, and I was punished for it. So, there you have it, folks. Keep your 1-up at all times. Otherwise, you're going to have a bad time. But now you'll kind of be able to see the sustainability with the 1 and 3 as well. Probably just going to keep using my 1 at this point because I am kind of low in energy. If you get caught with your pants down and don't have your 1-up, like I did there, for even a few seconds, it's a bad time. So we're at 9 minutes. And we're really kind of feeling the damage right now. So, I mean, Mirage being a damage frame that can CC a little bit, I think 10 minutes is pretty good for a solo of this level with no Forma. So, Of course, with other mods, with Forma, you could go longer, but it's a no Forma build. We're at 9 minutes, 30 seconds. Let's blind them, because our one's about to run out. And actually, let's do one of these. Goodbye, everybody. So we are at just about 10 minutes. So let's start making our way.
The longer you fight, the more successful we will be.
What's up? So in these tunnels right here, so if you ever get like a hallway like this to throw one of your disco balls down, the enemy's going to have a bad time. But Mirage's passive makes her in-air maneuverability and movement speed even faster, so that makes it nice if you ever need to get away from somebody or get up to them really quickly. It's a good time. There we go, 184 kills. 156 of them were melee kills. 1 death because I wasn't paying attention. 23 abilities used. You can keep your 1 up all the time. If you don't, you're going to have a bad time. Use your 3 when you feel like it. Use your 4 sparingly. Use your 2 if you get caught with your pants down. But that is this no Forma Mirage build. Let me know what you guys think of it in the comment section. Do you do a different no Forma build for Mirage? Or is this one pretty good? Let me know. If you have any other suggestions for either weapons or frames you want me to do a no Forma build for, leave those in the comment section down below. I'm not even afraid to spend some platinum in order to do it. Because, yeah, I'm not afraid to spend some platinum. But that is going to be it. Like I said, guys, if you liked the episode, please leave a like. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe for more daily shenanigans. If you have anything to say, that's what the comment section's for. Do not forget to have a good day, everybody. And I'll catch you all next time.